The 6th generation Chevrolet Monte Carlo hit the road with distinctive NASCAR-inspired styling. In an attempt to recapture the essence of previous generation Monte Carlos, the 6th generation brought back some familiar styling cues, as well as the Super Sport moniker. In this episode, we're going to dive in and take a closer look at the 6th generation Chevy Monte Carlo, its engine offerings, and a few limited special edition models. So grab a 7-Up, kick back, and let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The 2nd generation Chevy Lumina was all new for the 1995 model year, and it was divided into two separate body styles, a 4-door sedan and a 2-door coupe version, which revived the Monte Carlo name. 1988 was the final model year for the 4th generation Monte Carlo, and it remained on a hiatus until the 1995 model arrived. This new 5th generation model rode on a revised W body platform, thus making it the first front-drive Monte Carlo. Throughout its production, the 5th generation Monte Carlo was available in two trims, the LS and the Z34. Despite the fact this particular generation got some pushback, mainly for appearing so similar to the Lumina sedan and having a front-wheel drive layout, the 5th generation Monte Carlo had strong sales figures, strong enough to justify Chevy continuing the model and replacing it with an all-new generation with a more original design. Just after one model year on the market, the replacement for the 5th generation had gotten underway. 1996, the final design was submitted and approved. The design was handled by none other than Wayne Cherry, the same gentleman who was responsible for the design of the 10th generation Pontiac Bonneville. Cherry had his hands in the design of both cars during the year of 1996. Cherry was tasked to craft the 2-door coupe with a more original design. The new Monte Carlo would bring back some design traits from the past and modernize them. For instance, vertically oriented tail lamps and the overall silhouette would evoke previous iterations of the Monte Carlo. So in other words, although this new coupe would continue to share a platform with its 4-door sedan counterpart, it would ditch the conservative design and boast its very own unique look. Fast forward to 1997, the Monte Carlo Intimidator concept car was produced. The concept sported aggressive styling cues and was dramatically different from the standard 1997 Monte Carlo. The concept was said to be a preview of what was to be expected for the forthcoming 6th generation Monte Carlo. 1999, the 6th generation Monte Carlo entered production in October of this year via Oshawa Car Assembly Plant Number 1. The new 2-door coupe went on sale shortly thereafter as a 2000 model year vehicle. The Super Sport moniker was now back, replacing the Z34 designation, which had carried over from the Lumina coupe and onto the 5th generation Monte Carlo. Another classic trait that was back again was the Knight insignia, and as promised, the production 6th generation Monte Carlo derived much of its design language from the Monte Carlo Intimidator concept car. At first, the trim levels were the LS and the SS. This particular SS was the first front-drive SS on Chevrolet's showroom floors. A 3.4-liter V6 powered the LS, generating 180 horsepower. SS variants had a 3.8-liter V6. This engine cranked out 200 horsepower. When the 6th generation Monte Carlo was launched, it only offered naturally aspirated engines. This all changed when the supercharged SS model augmented the lineup for 2004 and 2005. The ride height was lowered almost half an inch. The spring rates were stiffer at all 4 corners, and the anti-roll bars were larger front and rear. The huge upgrade was under hood, where a supercharged version of the 3800 Series 2 pushrod V6 lurked. The 2004 and 2005 supercharged SS models created a more stout 240 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. As a way of handling all that extra power, the supercharged SS was paired with the beefed up 4-speed automatic transmission. This supercharged SS got an upgrade of 40 horsepower and 55 pound-feet of torque over the standard naturally aspirated SS. The naturally aspirated SS continued for the 2004 model year. For 2005, the LT took the place of the naturally aspirated SS, carrying on with the L36 engine. For the 6th generation Monte Carlo, various models which were inspired by NASCAR drivers during the time were produced. The first model was the Dale Earnhardt Signature Edition, also referred to as Intimidator Edition. Looking at the model, one would first notice the 5-spoke diamond cut wheels, and under hood was the L36 3800 V6. This particular model sported a black body with galaxy silver rocker panels. A thin red stripe above the silver ground effects was also included. The Dale No. 3 logo was placed with Earnhardt's signature behind the rear side window. Silver Intimidator SS badges were on display on the right side of the trunk, and standard Monte Carlo SS badges graced the bottom of the car near the rocker panel. An Intimidator badge with the number 3 was displayed on the dash, and Earnhardt's signature appeared on the gauge cluster. The Jeff Gordon edition made its debut in 2003. It sat on 5-spoke diamond cut wheels and had the L36 engine under hood. This particular car sported a superior blue body and silver ground effects, similar to the aforementioned Intimidator edition. This time around though, the Jeff Gordon edition got light blue ghost flame graphics. The number 24 was displayed behind the rear side window, and a Jeff Gordon signature was placed on the right side of the trunk. Inside the cockpit, there was a Jeff Gordon badge on the dashboard, and one sitting inside would notice a two-tone gray and black leather-wrapped steering wheel and shift knob. 2004 saw the release of the Dale Jr. Edition. This time, it was powered by the L67 supercharged 3800 engine and had red paintwork. The 5-spoke diamond cut wheels feature a black stripe through each spoke. The number 8 with an E-stripe design ran alongside the doors to the rear bumper. Around back, Dale Jr.'s signature was displayed on the right side of the trunk lid. In the cockpit, there was a number 8 badge along with Dale Jr.'s signature on the cluster. As a side note, I'd like to point out that although Dale Jr. got his own special edition, it was never an Intimidator edition, since that particular name was used on models commemorating his father, Dale Sr. 2004 also saw the Intimidator edition once again, sitting on 5-spoke diamond cut wheels. It was powered by the L67 supercharged 3800 engine. The car sported all-black paintwork, and Intimidator badges were placed on both sides of the car, as well as the trunk lid. The Tony Stewart version debuted in 2005, also being powered by the L67 engine. It wore an all-black paint job and featured white and orange graphics, displaying the number 20. Behind the rear window is where Tony Stewart's signature could be found. The Monte Carlo emblem was swapped out in favor of a black Tony Stewart grille. The wheels were identical to those found on the Dale Jr. edition. However, the bow tie on the center cap was white in color, just like all of the other bow ties on this particular version. For 2006, the Monte Carlo was revamped, making a public display at the 2005 Los Angeles Auto Show. The trim levels for this revised model included the base model LS, the mid-range LT, the upper level LTZ, and the range topping SS. Gone were the L36 and L67 engines. The base 3.4 liter was dropped as well. A 3.5 liter V6 cranking out 211 horsepower was now the standard mill. A 3.9 liter engine was also available for 2006. The LZ9 3900 utilized variable cam timing technology and generated 242 horsepower and 242 pound-feet of torque with a wide torque curve. Interestingly, the SS models was now powered by the LS4 V8, cranking out 303 horsepower. To accommodate that extra power, the SS utilized a heavy-duty version of the 4-speed automatic. This was the same transmission found in the SS supercharged models with the L67 engine that we mentioned earlier in this video. For 2007, the LTZ model was dropped along with the 3.9-liter V6. The flex fuel 3.5-liter became the standard engine for all non-SS models. General Motors released several Monte Carlos branded as pace car replicas. Each year featured a different color and were limited production. However, all cars had some things in common. All pace cars received Galaxy Silver ground effects, checker flagging on fenders and doors, Tasmanian Devil decals on quarter panels, and other parts of the car. It also has a race-inspired rear spoiler that resembles the look of the NASCAR spoiler. In early 2007, an announcement was made in regards to the discontinuation of the Monte Carlo. Production of the car came to a close at the Oshawa Car Assembly Plant No. 1 in 2007. The final two 2007 Monte Carlo coupes were SS models, rolling off the line at the Oshawa Assembly Plant. Those final two SS models sported precision red exterior paint and silver rally stripes. The execs at GM claimed the car was canceled because the two-door coupe market was becoming less profitable as consumers made a transition over to larger vehicles. The other reason being was the company's intention to bring back the Camaro, which would have siphoned some sales from the Monte Carlo. Despite a shrinking coupe segment, the final Monte Carlo wasn't a total failure from the perspective of General Motors, since the company still managed to sell nearly 500,000 sixth-generation Monte Carlos over a span of 7 years. But let us know what you think. If you've driven or otherwise owned a sixth-generation Monte Carlo, let us know in the comments. As always, thanks for coming out to the show, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until next time, this is your host Rob, and thanks for tuning in to Antique Tags.